if you do not take responsibility for your thoughts, feelings, words, and action, people will take that responsibility on your behalf. That is when you hear, okay, Mr. X already said it before. Even you, the Mr. X, won't even remember when you said that statement, when you made that action, but people already took that responsibility on your behalf. Like, oh, you said it before, have you forgotten? So when we went out on this day. So in whatever you do, be it in your thoughts, in your feelings, in your words and action, always take responsibility. Because if you do not take responsibility for these 4 things, people will take that responsibility on your behalf. So before they take the responsibility on your behalf, it is better you take that responsibility on yourself. And Winston Churchill says, the price of greatness is responsibility. And to know more about the price of greatness to responsibility, stay tuned as this show is for you. Hello guys, how are you? How are you doing? Hope you are having a great day. I am your host Olasumbo Akinola, and it's a pleasure to have you once again on this show. Last week I talked about procrastination, where I told you all the negative effect procrastination plays in our life, in our career, in all other things, which is not for our own good, it's not for our betterment. So in case you missed that video, please do not forget to go back to the video and watch, and also share for others to enjoy the video. And my topic for today is self-responsibility. Self-responsibility. I'm talking about self-responsibility. It is the state or fact of being responsible, answerable, or accountable for something within one's power, control, or management. So talking about responsibility is the state you have to be responsible, you have to be answerable. You can't just say you are responsible, and you are not taking unnecessary actions to the world. If you are responsible, you need to be answerable or accountable for something within your power, within your control, or within your management. And as you have probably experienced it in the past, taking full responsibility of something happening to you is not easy. Aside taking responsibility as the man of the house, as the mother or woman of the house, as a friend, as an older sister, as an older brother, as a sibling, you also need to take responsibility for your own personal life. That is why I said the price of greatness is responsibility. You can't say, okay, you want to be great in life, and you do not take some responsibility towards your education, towards your career, or towards something that would make you better or improve you. And the responsibility to do your very best to fulfill your roles in life, whether they're social or economic. It is very, 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 very essential, because it is your very best responsibility to fulfill your roles in life. Take, for instance, you've been a CEO, you've been a GM, you've been a manager, you've been a boss at work, you've been a boss maybe in your area of specialization, talking about your skill. You've been a boss to your employees, to your apprentices. It is to fulfill your roles in life, whether be it social or economic. For example, trying to do well in your job and being a good parent. Aside all other responsibilities, being a good parent is a very huge responsibility on its own, and some people at times they need to combine parenting with responsibility at work, responsibility in their religious sector. Take for instance, responsibility in churches, in mosques, responsibility in maybe other social clubs or something. So you're trying to take responsibility for 4 different things at a time. It is not easy, but whatever is worth doing is definitely worth doing well. And a self-responsibility can also be called a personal responsibility. And personal responsibility is important because it allows individuals to readily accept the outcome of their choices without holding anyone else accountable. So when you are personally responsible for your actions, for your weaknesses, for your achievements, for your strong modes, like you being strong in the times of trial, you being strong for someone, maybe for a friend or something. Personal responsibility is that it allows you as an individual to readily accept the outcome of your choice. It might be a choice. Take for instance, you are free to make choices in life, but before making this choice, you sit down and you ask yourself, okay, is this a positive decision? Is it a negative decision? Will it affect you at the end? Will it not affect you at the end? So you need to be accountable for the set of decisions you make in life. Also, looking back at the outcomes, especially if they are negative, create a strategy that prevents future mistakes. So even if you made a decision that didn't turn out well for you, just sit down and talk to yourself. Say, okay, Rome wasn't built in a day. At least drops of water made a mighty ocean. So you can sit down, think within the box, and if it is possible for you to think outside the box, so far it would result or yield to something positive, you can try it. And if eventually the thing didn't work out, still take responsibility for the actions you took that led to the result or to the incident. Then when you're able to take responsibility of that action, then you would find areas to improve yourself on. That is the most essential part of self or personal responsibility. So now to expatiate what responsibility self really means. A responsibility is something you are expected to do. As a mother, having a baby or a toddler or a little kid, it is your responsibility to feed, to bathe the child. It is your responsibility to take care of your child as a parent. And a responsibility might be a task you're expected to do. I, as a fully grown person, it is my responsibility to cook in my house. At least I still live with my parents. It is my responsibility to cook. It is my responsibility to do the dishes, to do all other things. Because what? My parents already served me. They have served me as a parent, so it is my time to serve them as a child. And for example, your parents also expect you to brush your teeth. This is for teenagers. If you are old enough to bathe yourself or to brush for yourself, then it is your responsibility to brush your teeth. Brushing your teeth is a responsibility. Anything you think you are expected to do is a responsibility. It is not until you're called to do this that, okay, you think or you consider that thing as your responsibility. And another example is that your teacher expects you to finish your homework on time and to do your best job. I, as a student, I, as a worker, it is my responsibility to work efficiently. I am needed, I am required to work efficiently. It is my responsibility. I have no excuse to back myself up. It is not possible. And you as a student as well, it is your responsibility to do all assignments. You can't just say, okay, you were given a deadline, maybe you're to submit your assignment on the 25th of November 2021, and you keep saying, okay, I have the grace of 4 days, I have the grace of 3 days, and then you wait till that time. It is not right. It is not. Accept it as a responsibility. Whatever it is your responsibility, seriously, I am telling you categorically that you cannot neglect your responsibility. And it is your responsibility that you need to do it to the best of your ability. A responsibility might be a way you are expected to act. I'm from the western part of Nigeria, it is my responsibility to kneel down with my knees to greet the older ones, to greet elderly people. It is something I am expected to do. That's why I said a responsibility, it is a way you are expected to act. I can't just stand up and greet older people or elderly people. It is not possible. I am expected to kneel down, and men are expected to prostrate to greet them. It is a responsibility you are expected to act. For example, your parents expect that if you go out to play or if you hang out, you need to come back as early as possible. And majority do not accept that as a responsibility. Because so far you are living in your parents' roof. If you go out, it is your responsibility to go back, come back home, go out, come back home, go out and come back early enough. People do not know a lot of responsibility, and people really need to know. And some people would know, some people would not want to accept. All they keep saying is that, okay, I'm 18 plus, I'm a fully grown man, I am this, I am that, different things. Different things needs like it's you need to take responsibility of these things, and it is your responsibility to have fun in a safe and cautious way. You can't just keep saying, okay, you're not a kid anymore. You have the right. Definitely, you have the right to have your fun, but with the right to have fun and do all other things, you need to be cautious as well. All right, to enlighten my viewers on this topic, self-responsibility, I would be explaining 8 ways to take responsibility for your life. 8 good ways to take responsibility for your life. And the first is, take responsibility for your thoughts, feelings, words, and action. The first one is very important, and this is why some people say, okay, an utterance is like an egg. Once it is uttered, it can't be picked. So when you make some utterances, people, the way people hold that utterance, you would think, okay, is it really up to that? Is it not just one argument or one disagreement I had with someone? So even if you do not take responsibility for your thoughts, feelings, words, and action, people will take that responsibility on your behalf. That is when you hear, okay, Mr. X already said it before. Even you, the Mr. X, won't even remember when you said that statement, when you made that action, but people already took that responsibility on your behalf. Like, oh, you said it before, have you forgotten? So when we went out on this day, so in whatever you do, be it in your thoughts, in your feelings, in your words and action, always take responsibility. Because if you do not take responsibility for these 4 things, people will take that responsibility on your behalf. So before they take the responsibility on your behalf, it is better you take that responsibility on yourself. And the next thing is that you should stop blaming. Stop blaming. If you stop blaming, that is when you can take, okay, stop blaming. If you are being scolded for something, accept the fact that, okay, you are wrong. It is until you accept that fact you'll be able to pick out some things, some weaknesses, or some things you did very bad. So you can't see, if you don't take blame, you won't find the bad things you do, and you won't correct yourself. People make mistakes, so stop blaming. If you are being scolded for something, okay, accept what they scolded you for. Then do not blame. You don't have to say, okay, it is because of this person, or it is because this thing wasn't done at the right time. Know that thing in your mind and try to work towards it. So you should always stop to blame. The next is stop complaining. Stop complaining. See, it is when you start complaining, people won't even believe what you're saying. But if you know, okay, something had happened, it had already happened, and nothing can be done to correct it. Stop complaining. Just let it go. Let it go. The more you complain, the more it hurts. The more you complain, the more it eats you up. And the fourth is, refuse to take anything personal. When something is being discussed, be it at work, within the family, within group of friends, see, once it is discussed at a particular point in time, do not take anything personal. Make sure you try to iron things out. You try to iron things out, because if you do not iron things out, or you just don't say your mind, right in your mind, you'll be like, okay, you did not let out your mind or something. You keep having this thing like, okay, so caused it, so made this happen, and seriously, it is coming a lot of damage to your sense of self responsibility or personal responsibility. And one of these most important 8 ways is that always make yourself happy. You need to make yourself happy. You always need to celebrate these little wins. Little wins matter. Make yourself happy, celebrate yourself, encourage yourself, wake up and utter these affirmations. Make affirmations to yourself every day. You are a speck. You are a special breed. You're going places. Make yourself happy and encourage yourself. And the sixth is, live in the present moment. You need to forget what has happened. If you have made mistakes in the past, please, it is time to let go of your mistakes. It is time to let go of your past. Live in the present and hope for a great future. Hope for a greater future. If you've made mistakes in the past, do not let your past determine your future, and do not let your past affect your present. It is very, very important to note that. And also use the power of intention. In this world, let me just say, the good people are the people that are positively intentional about you. Intentions really matter in the part of the world we are, or in this generation, or in this era. Intention is very, very powerful. If you use the power of intention on yourself, okay, I need to like graduate with this particular CGPA, and you are intentional about it. Even aside studies, you are intentional about someone, be it your wife, your husband, your sibling, or you're like, okay, I am intentional about my younger sister. I want to help her. I want to lift her up. We rise by lifting others. When you are intentional about that quote especially, seriously, there is power in intentions. And if you do not try it, you won't know how powerful it is. And the last way is, feel calm and confident. When you're confident enough, there would be consistency. When you're confident, calm enough, then that would lead to confidence. You need to be confident enough in order to portray your ability, in order to portray your stance. And to the examples of responsibility, I'll be sharing few examples of self or personal responsibility. And the first is personal responsibility. And personal responsibility is your ability or your responsibility to do positive things with your abilities, talents, and resources. Personal responsibility has to do like with it is your ability to do positive things with talent, your own talents, resources, and ability. If you know you have a talent, then know this or take this as your personal responsibility to develop that talent. You can't say, okay, God gave you a voice and you are not taking responsibility to train that voice. Honestly, that voice, you won't use it for something good. It won't be resourceful. It won't be resourceful. You just keep, oh, I have voice. I just don't like singing. I have voice, but I don't have the time to train myself. It's stress, it's this, it's that. You need to take personal responsibility of some things. If you have the ability if you have this ability, that is this money, these resources to help people, to lift people, you can do it. And the next example is agency. An agency is your ability to influence what happens to you. It is your ability to influence what happens to you. If you allow this kind of responsibility to influence you negatively, it would have a very wrong or a very awful part to play in your life. And the next is legal obligation. Always make, or they say a country that doesn't have law does not have sin. So we as Nigerians, we know there are laws guiding us in Nigeria. So if you do not follow, or if you do not take responsibility of this legal obligation, you are wrong. You are, as they used to say, you are a criminal. So you need to take responsibility of legal laws. Contractual obligations too. Contractual obligations has to do with, businesses and all those things. So if you are in business with someone, you need to follow the laws, the agreements you both have laid down. And the next is norms. As a Yoruba, as Africans, we have our norms. So we follow these norms, we take responsibility of these norms. For a man, before you get married, you will need to pay a woman's bride price. So it is a norm you have to follow. You take responsibility of that norm. And the last is the social role. Talking about you've been taking responsibility of some social clubs, some social responsibility, and all other things. You can't be a let's say a matron or a patron in a social club or something, and you're not taking responsibility of that role. Then honestly, you won't be regarded. That is the most important thing. So your responsibility, the way you are responsible for something, add to the way people respect you. If you're so responsible, that's when they'll say, oh, I love that man, I love that woman, he's so responsible, he's a responsible married man, she's a responsible older sister, he's a responsible older brother. And so far so good. I really hope you've enjoyed the show. And if you have any questions, you can join me in the comment section. You can ask me some questions and I'll be there right in the comment section to give you the appropriate answer required. Once again, thank you so much for joining me on the show. And do not forget to like, share and comment if this video has been of benefit to you. Till I come your way next week, same time, same platform. Until then, I'm saying bye. Have a wonderful week.